and I'll kind of go in order. So just to give you some background, I'm from Poquoson. I'm our instructional trainer and project director. And our group was really unique in that we were a combination of three small school divisions and a university partner. So we also worked with CERN from William and Mary. And it was really great for us to join as small divisions because our teachers a lot of times end up, especially as they get into the secondary level, they're one of maybe one or even sometimes two teachers who teach in one specific content area. And so they really have expressed to us over the course of the last few years that they would love to be able to collaborate and just more ideas on lesson planning and things like that. So just to join resources and pull our teams together was really worthwhile. That was one of our favorite parts, and it's a partnership that we have still continued. I'll speak to that a little bit. So with starting small, I already mentioned that we had a collaboration among stakeholders in our divisions, but then across divisions. One of the big things that we realized right away is that second bullet, which is that we needed to step back to step forward. So we had some really lofty ambitions with regard to college and career readiness. And then as we were getting started, we thought something as simple as, we talk about the 5 C's all the time, and we talk about the Virginia profile of a graduate all the time, but do our teachers really know what we mean when we say collaboration? Do the students really know what it means to collaborate and things like that? So I'll speak to some things that we did with regard to that, but that was kind of our big takeaway early on was this level, there were big goals that we had. And then as we started pulling in stakeholder voice, we realized we needed to build a little capacity before we move forward. Also, sometimes it can be challenging when you have this many groups working together. Again, we had 4 teams as a part of our partnership. And so constant communication was our biggest asset and something we're still doing. So it's amazing to me because our team also includes 3 assistant superintendents, and I know that they are inundated with emails. But even as busy as they are, it's constant communication and very quick feedback and turnaround, which I think has been really helpful. I would like to say I think we've also done a pretty good job of delegating tasks, and I think it was helpful to have someone like me on there who was not an assistant superintendent, who had a little bit more time and flexibility in planning out some of these agendas and different professional development experiences that we've had. So with expanding the base, one of the most important things that we did was get student focus groups right off the bat. I think most of us had even done that before we went to the very first meeting. And I think that that was invaluable to get that, of course, everything that we do, we want to be rooted in students. So we really got a lot of great feedback. One of the most powerful things about our student focus groups is that we really were intentional about not using people from our division to collect this information. I know at Poquoson we used an outside group, and Middlesex and West Point used the William and Mary CERN to come in and do those focus groups. So I think we got some really valuable feedback without the students feeling any sort of pressure or being uncomfortable with having someone from their division. And again, I mentioned the collaboration. A lot of basically all of the professional development and what we did as a result of this work has been professionally developing teachers, and I'll speak to that a little bit. One of the things in terms of influencing change with regard to professional development, one of the things that I have been the most excited about, and Gaynell was a huge part of this, is developing 5C work. So we had teacher representatives from each division who came together, and we started by basically saying, how do we define these 5Cs? And we talked about creating rubrics that started as definitional, and then we're going to move more operational. That was a big thing. Teachers, we want, what's the rubric that they're going to use in their math class? And we realized that we really needed to back that up and have it as a definition and what we mean when we say this in order to operationalize it moving forward. Our teachers were phenomenal. They did such a good job with this. It was one of the best experiences that I've had in education. It was just very inspiring. They did a great job, and just those conversations were worth their weight in gold, let alone the rubrics that we came with. So we gave them a lot of flexibility in what that form was going to take. And like I said, just the conversations alone were wonderful. Another thing that we've done is we brought together before and as COVID-19 was happening, We started in the fall of last year and brought together department chairs all across secondary, and just had some really good instructional conversations. They refined a performance assessment lesson plan. We had updates from VDOE, and most importantly, they worked through the 4 shifts protocol with Scott, and that was really awesome. In the spring, we had started getting into secondary content areas. So we had brought together all of our math teachers, all of our English teachers, social studies, and science, unfortunately, was the Monday that school was closed. So we're looking for ways to continue that virtually. But that's been really great. And again, our feedback from teachers has been off the charts, just to be able to have those instructional conversations with their peers, especially with small divisions. VDOE was incredible. We couldn't believe we got every single coordinator from social studies, English, and math. We had science, of course, but we had to cancel, or postpone rather. But they were amazing in sending all of the coordinators. So that was just a great partnership as well. And what my teammates wanted to make sure that I am mentioning is that we're still continuing this. So we applied for a grant and we did get it. And so we actually today are starting conversations about performance assessments with our English teachers. So our goal is for the end of course level, we'll have teachers from 9 through 11 to develop tasks that we can use for the local assessment. And we also are still having these conversations. We have teachers from grades 5 through 11 coming. So we're going to be developing a bank. And again, it's just great for us to be able to pull these teachers to work together versus, I know if we were doing it alone in Poquoson, it would just be one teacher, but we'll have Poquoson, Middlesex, West Point all working together. So that's just one thing that is just a continued partnership and some great stuff continuing to come out of our work in cohort 1. So, I don't know if there's anything else that you think that I should add. I don't want to take too much of your time. I got everyone's ear off, but I'm just super excited about the work that we've done. And I think an example of how it didn't end when our time in the cohort ended. We have really found value in this and are continuing to grow it in addition to just maintaining what we had been doing.